Gold rolled over yesterday, and I did this lesson this week in the Elite Room. I wanted to teach you how to do it. Okay? And let me show you something. First, I want to show you how to know what a front month is. So if you go over to cmegroup.com for contracts traded on the CME, which is a good chunk of the futures that most people trade, and you go down here to products and training, and then Globex, and then go, like, for instance, to metals for gold. And then you can go over here and we'll choose, okay, we want to look at gold futures, so click on the product name there. And then we'll go over to just settlements, or you go to volume, either one. And you can see, when we looked at this the other day, it was like 180 on August and 150 on December. It was starting to roll over. Well, as you can see here, gold is already rolled over. Now there's 131,000 contracts being traded on December, and only 36,000 were traded yesterday on August. So gold obviously rolled over. Something we do to help you with this, now that's if you're a futures trader, you want to be trading that heavier month, okay? If you're a Nadex trader, and even as a futures trader, this schedule will still be helpful to you. But you can go over here to the Nadex rollover page. And let me log in. There we go. Okay, and so if you go to Nadex information from there, then you'll see gold has a rollover on it. And says COMEX Gold December Futures rolling over to GCZ4, GC1214. And so you'd want to roll over that day. You'd also see it inside the name of the contract if you're trading, for instance, if you're trading on Nadex. So if we pull up any one of the positions over here, then what you'd notice, and yeah, I got my live on my other computer over here. And so we can see is right here, it'll say the word December in the name of the contract. On binaries, and if we choose gold, okay, then we scroll down here and you'll see at the very top, it'll say gold, and it'll take the symbol as well, okay? So there's a place for you to use that calendar to know when rollover is coming up. You can obviously, if you're looking at Nadex or if you're looking at the scanner, you can see the contract. If you open a contract, the name is in the contract itself. Okay, so right here. So right there. And you can see it. And what you do is, let me go over, so good question that comes up. Do you roll over at the beginning or the end of that day? You're going to roll over at the end of the day before it, actually. So, like crude oil rolled over on the 19th. So technically you'd roll over at the end of the day on the 18th. Gold rolled over on the 30th, so you'd roll over at the end of the day on the 29th. So that's how you'd actually do the rollover. Okay? And if you're not sure, all you have to do is look at the Nadex contract. So if you're like, well, what was the rule? Because here's the thing, is that gold on Wednesday starts at 6 p.m. on Nadex on Tuesday, right? So all the expirations start then. So technically it actually starts for that, it's that day's expiration that's rolling over, but it starts at 6 on the previous day. But if you're ever not sure, just hop over and look at Nadex itself, and you'll be able to see which contract you should be using. Now, how do you do rollover? Let me go into that. So I'm going to bring up NinjaTrader, and all right, so we're going to go to Tools. We're going to go to Instrument Manager. And under Instrument Manager, turn that off. My lovely wife trying to find out what I want for lunch. All right, so under Instrument Manager, we'll go to GC. Yeah, she's great. And then hit search. Okay. Oh, actually, before you even do that, let's just say you haven't searched for anything yet. Let me go back a step for you. To roll over, you don't have to search for anything. Just scroll down to the instrument, and like right here, like, so where it says GC08-14, and let's say I want to roll it over. I'm going to click on the right arrow to get rid of it, and then I'm going to click on the left arrow to add it on. And notice how it updated for me automatically to 1214. Now, what if it didn't say 1214? What if I clicked on it and it said 914 or 1014 or whatever? Then I would just choose the date I want and then click the left to add it back. So I don't have to search. You can save yourself a step by clicking on the instrument, right-clicking, and left-clicking. Okay? Now, if it doesn't have the date you want, that is your telltale sign that you need to do what I'm about to tell you. So if it said August and you're needing to roll over, then you need to do what I'm about to tell you. Okay? If it doesn't say 12. So go to GC and hit search. Now, under GC, hit edit. And then go to miscellaneous. Scroll to the bottom. So again, we just GC, search, edit, miscellaneous tab, scroll down. And now click on these little ellipses right here at the very bottom where it says, contract months defined. That's going to pop up, and on that, you're going to need to set the date to whatever date you want it to be. All right, so I wanted it to roll over on the 29th because I really wanted it to act like as soon as the market closed, I wanted that thing rolled over to the 29th. So you need it to be a day previous to today. Okay? So you need it to be like if today was the day you were doing it, you need to roll over 7:30. Okay? So you can change that rollover date. The cool thing is you don't have to, and I learned this week actually, you don't have to edit the offset date. You just need to change the rollover date. Because when you close Ninja Trader down, so after you do this, you would close down Ninja, you would clear out your cache, and I'll show you how to do that. And then when you open it back up, it'll take care of the offset automatically, so you don't have to manually calculate it. Now, where this gets a little trickier is what you may have noticed over here on CME is that there is an October and a September contract. So in August, September, October, December. Okay? And fortunately, it looks like Ninja Trader was smart enough to not include the September and October contract. On some contracts, somebody at Ninja's not as smart. So, like if we look at corn, a lot of times they'll include those in-between months that really shouldn't be included because nobody trades them. Okay? And sometimes it doesn't make a big difference. Like they're like gold is basically trading at the same price, plus or minus a few ticks. So it's not a big deal. Corn could be trading by like 20 points difference. Okay, it could be. It's maybe not 20 points, but sometimes it can actually be 20 points difference. And so it can really cause issues when you load charts and make them super, super slow. Especially if you're doing tick-based charts because it's trying to fill in all those ticks of movement, which didn't really happen. It just rolled. So what would you do? What you would do is you'd go in, and let's say you were rolling over, let's just say that, let's say we went for, pretend for a moment, okay? Let's say we went from April to December today, just as a total example. Don't do what I'm about to tell you, just if you can work with me here. And what I would need to do is I'd put like yesterday, I put the one I want to be on now, I'd put that to yesterday's date. And I'd put the other two in between to a date before. So I'd put this to like the day before yesterday, and then I'd put this to the day before that. So that way there was at least one rollover date, because I don't want to share the rollover dates, okay? So at least one rollover date between them. If you hit remove, I found out that it doesn't, it'll put them back sometimes when you rebuild and stuff like that. So basically, if this date was like 131, and I had this one at 729, I'd put this one at 728, and I'd put this one at 727. Now again, you don't need to ever do that unless those are months that you don't need, like we skipped months. And so if they would have had September and October in here, we would have skipped months. Does that make sense to everybody? Are there any questions there? So yeah, I know it's been a great morning. Yeah, I think I'm up like 2,000 this morning already. So does that make sense to everybody on here? as far as just how to change your rollover dates. All right. So now you understand how to do rollover. Once you did that, once you updated to the date, then you would click OK, and you click OK, and you click OK, and then you would close Ninja Trader down. So I'm going to go ahead and close it just so I can actually walk you through the entire process. And then open up your toolkit, because we added in a really cool feature. And under it, there's a tool section that says Clear Ninja Trader Data Cache. What's really nice about this feature is not only does it clear out all your cache folders and make sure it deletes all the right ones, so you don't have to worry about if you have it right and dig into all the Windows Explorer and go through all the subfolders, so it's faster. Also, it permanently deletes the cache, which you don't need. It's just old data, which you can reload with a quick. When you open a chart, you reload the data. Okay. And what I mean by permanently is, instead of putting it in your recycle bin, so you have gigabytes of storage of cache, which a lot of people don't know that they're just every time they delete their cache or a folder, they're just throwing files into the recycle bin, which gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So if you just go over here and you click clear out your cache, then it's going to go through and it's going to delete all the files. Now, if it's been a while since you've done that, that could take a few minutes. Okay, it could take a while. It could take 10 minutes. However much you've stored up, it could take a while. Didn't take that much for me because I clear my cache out pretty much every day. Okay? You don't have to reinstall it, just clear the cache out. And you're good to go. Now, reopen your Ninja, reconnect, and it will fill in all the gaps. And I noticed this because when I was on the radio, I saw this weird, massive bar on gold. And I'm like, what is going on? And because I had it on gold, on December gold. And I'm like, what is happening? And it was simply because there was, it had the date a month out. And I needed it to roll now. And so I was already moving it, but it hadn't filled in that offset on there because the date hadn't rolled over yet as far as it was concerned. So there was this big gap. So you really want to make sure that if that date is not aligned when you go in and remove and add back to your instrument manager, if it's not the date you want, you're going to need to edit those rollover dates. Now, it's a little more advanced than some of the fun pieces of trading futures, but, and I am recording this so you can watch it again, but it'll make life a lot easier for you if you learn how to do that, and you won't get these weird big lags as well. And I made up an example right here, like on corn, where I put all the steps, and so I'll get that uploaded into the form of this video. In fact, let me grab that right now. I'm going to upload it for you. And I will give that to John, so when he does the video a little bit later, he'll have an example screenshot. It's not the one from just now, but has all the same steps in it and everything I just went over for you. Okay? So that way you'll be able to reference that in the future. All right, so that's futures rollover. And again, why do futures roll over? Because they're real. They're an agreement. They're a contract between a buyer and a seller to make or take delivery by a certain date. And they have what's called last trade dates, which you really don't want to be trading in the last trade date because that's when volume goes way down. Okay? And the contract's going to expire August. August is right around the corner. Tomorrow is August 1st. So, obviously, people are starting to roll over to the new month. And that's why you got to change those month codes inside of Ninja or whatever platform that you're using. And Ninja just happens to allow you to edit things a lot more friendly than other platforms do. Like in Thinkorswim, you can choose the month you want, but if you want it to merge, you can't choose the month because it won't merge it right. And it may actually mess up your data in the process because it doesn't let you change the rollover date. And I have noticed that Ninja is pretty good about choosing a day late on most rollovers, just the way that they do it. Anyways, I hope that helps you out, and we'll wrap this video up.